Now that you've got your machine all set up, it's time to start practicing, and in the words of Nike, just do it. The first thing I want you to do before you grab those handles is make sure that you're practicing in a perfect manner, because only perfect practice equals perfect quilting. To do that, you're going to want to have quality fabric on your machine. Don't be tempted to use sheets or old cheap fabric. It will make a difference because there's sizing or a high thread count, and that tends to cause needle deflection, which results in skip stitches, broken needles, and a lot of other problems that you'll want to avoid. Besides that, you'll want to start with a fresh needle and change that needle approximately every 8 hours of stitching. More if you start hearing that little thwack thwack noise or see that your threads are pulling on the fabric. The other thing you want to do is test your tension, make sure it's perfect, and for doing that, especially when you're first learning to quilt, I highly recommend putting 2 different colors of thread in that are highly contrasting, so you can see whether the thread is coming up toward the top or being pulled toward the bottom of the quilt sandwich, and then you can adjust accordingly. Once you've done that, it's time to get started. The first thing I tell people to do after they bring up their thread is hold on tight just for a few stitches to anchor it. And then you're going to start stitching. And the first thing I want you to stitch is your name. And the reason I want you to stitch your name is because it's something you're familiar with. Just get the feel of the machine. That's all I want you to do. You have muscle memory from writing your signature, so it will be very easy to transfer to the machine. The next thing I want you to do is write the alphabet from A to Z, lowercase and uppercase. And that is to get that muscle memory going and to get you into the feel of waltzing with your machine, if you will. So let's do a few of those letters. You can even sing the old song if you want, but it's not necessary. After you've done a little bit of the alphabet, you know the letter C. So let's try and do some C's, which will look like curls or swirls. If you come back directly on the C, it looks more like a curve. But if you come in and give yourself a bit of a loop on that C, suddenly you have swirls. Make sure when you hit the tip that you stop for a second and then come back out of the swirl, and you'll see that you get a nice sharp point that looks a lot nicer than if you don't stop. So again, you can do C's and try and come right back on them, or you can do swirls. Start with that until you feel comfortable. And in the next video, I'm going to show you some advanced quilting techniques that will make for wonderful practice sessions.